Thanks for staying on the marketplace and welcome back. Now, President-elect Nana Addo has reaffirmed the commitment of his administration's vision of building a resilient economy with the help of the private sector. Nana Addo also noted his government will invest in people through education and provision of basic social amenities in order to improve the living standards of the people. He made these remarks in an engagement with members of the Private Enterprise Federation in Accra on Wednesday.
We aim to build the most business-friendly and people-friendly economy in Africa, which will create jobs and prosperity for all Ghanaians. And this we intend to do through private sector empowerment. Government's role is to create this atmosphere for the private sector to flourish. We aim to achieve double-digit GDP growth annually for the next 4 years. And this is possible if you remember that under the Kufuor-led MPP government, the economy attained a GDP growth rate of 9.1% in 2008 without oil. We will reduce the cost of doing business, maintain fiscal discipline, reduce government borrowing, and reduce interest rates to spur private sector investment. Our economic program will enhance agricultural production and productivity, along with the transformation of the economy through value addition to our raw materials in a process of rapid industrialization. The NPP will invest in our people through the provision of quality education and health care, as well as affordable housing. The role of government will be one of providing an enabling environment for the private sector to thrive, as well as putting in place social policies to protect the disadvantaged and vulnerable in society. In particular, the NPP will implement policies to invest in rural, coastal, zongo, and inner city communities. To attain a competitive economy that is capable of producing sustainable growth, jobs and shared benefits for all, two key stakeholders must play their roles. First, the government, by setting the environment and climate to allow private sector to flourish. And secondly, the private sector to have the confidence to exploit all the opportunities offered by such a business-friendly environment.
Meanwhile, the CEO of the Private Enterprise Federation, Nana Osei Bonsu, has assured the incoming government of its support to its industrialization policy. He said the private sector will support government to construct a water pipeline from Addo in the Greater Accra region to the northern part of the country and other farming communities to aid in its agricultural production agenda and also increase food security. According to him, this will also support the NPP's one district, one factory policy.
We commit, the Private Enterprise Federation and its members commit to partner the government in a PPP to create a water pipeline across the entire nation, from Addo to the remotest part of Upper East and Upper West. We have been able to construct a gas pipeline from Enugu to Abuaze. We should be able to construct a water pipeline from Addo to the northeast part. This free-flowing water will turn into an instrument of immense transformation. First, it will guarantee every Ghanaian clean drinking water. Secondly, it will guarantee water for irrigation to create 2 or 3 seasons in agriculture to increase our use for food security. And third, to be used to provide mini hydroelectric dams, where applicable, to fully power businesses in various locations across the country, including the one district, one factory vision of Your Excellency. The Private Enterprise Federation, realizing the ineffectiveness of micro, small, and medium enterprises in the districts and various communities, started a program to create district business coalitions in selected districts to aggregate all business players in the locality into a single movement where they engage duty bearers, district, municipal, and traditional rulers to identify business operations for the benefit of local businesses. With support from Good Governance Africa, and I think the CEO is in our midst, the Federation in June 2016 started the establishment of pilot BDCs in 3 localities, Techiman in Brahafri region, Mampong, and Ejura in the Ashanti region, to be replicated across all districts in the nation in the near future. PEF is currently engaged with our sponsor, Good Governance Africa, Conrad Addo, Steve Tong, and others, to continue the program in all the remaining districts in a 3-year duration. With the rice incentive, sir, these local BDCs will serve as the investors and business group in their respective districts to invest and run the district factories, either solo or through PPP. This is the key, sir, to the one factory per district program that you want to create jobs and wealth in our localities, to stem the migration of our young people to the various metropolis where housing and other amenities are so stretched, turning our cities into container cities. Your Excellency, the Federation pledges its full commitment to engage your administration to drive the implementation of this program. We trust that this program will be private sector driven to create jobs with meaningful salaries and wages.
You're still live on the marketplace, and moving on, many depositors of the defunct DKM Microfinance Company in the Bonahafo region are still concerned they will not be able to retrieve all of their monies. The second tranche of payments for depositors of the defunct microfinance firm got underway last Monday at Sunyani in the Bonahafo region. Joy News checks revealed the official liquidator has now capped the amount at 10,000 cedis. Kuku Aban, our correspondent, is in the Bonahafo region and is going to bring us more updates on this particular situation and, of course, its impact on the Yuletide this year. Kuku, if you can hear me, what is the state of the payment so far? Hello, Kuku. If you can hear me, how is the payment of the second tranche for the depositors of DKM Microfinance going on?
I can hear you, Emmanuel.
All right, so Kuku,
well,
what is the state now?
I can say so far it's been pretty good. There's been good and there's been bad news for some people. And actually, some have been able to receive their monies and have happily walked away. Some are also here very upset, not happy because they've not been able to get their money. You know, earlier, the money was spec'd at 3,500. Now it's been raised to 10,000. So those who earlier received an amount of 3,500, for instance, if you deposited 4,000, then there's a top-up of, say, 500 for you to take, which is underway. Those who deposited an amount over 10,000, which is the ceiling right now, then it means you can take that 10,000 and then arrange with the officials your details are taking. Then you come back later and then take it in installments and what have you. There was this young lady here who's been in the queue for a while. She tells me she's Catherine, not a very happy depositor. Catherine, she was speaking the local language, really. What's empty saying now? Kasa watching still on Sanka Sika. Sika say now they to her and say now uji at Oshe himself.
Me patch the 5,000 at all. But first, I know almost say rating here 35. But now say you say almost say between any na. But what be sabi no almost almost aka omudi na. Nti ye hwe se nsa be ka de a.
Ba ha be time.
Me ba ha 7:30. Na me ba.
Na o hwe aka be se ansa na wadu.
Aka be 2 lines ansa na edru me so. Nti me hwe se e bedru ye so.
And a story with me sure say we any just some mouse. Say what any mouse say unsa ba be council.
Okay, ye hwe.
Na problem here I go through in so be na dia bro. Earlier now catch me say we business. Businessman now.
Me sports. Basa na sport on asa e ko form kakra nti na asese no ye de bosia na ewurawura mu a asan e pagya no ho kakra nti ye hwe se ye nsa be kana etimi ye kwakotuotua ye bosia no.
Okay, as you heard, she is an operator of a restaurant and a bar, and she deposited 5,000 Ghana cedis. She's hoping that she'll be able to get the entire money because the limit has been put at 1,000 Ghana cedis. She deposited 5,000, so it means she can get all the money. She has just about 2 of the lines to clear, and then she'll be able to get her money. She's had a bit of a torrid time but the faith is that she will be able to revamp her business and go back into action. I have another lady here who's not pretty happy. She's please tell your name.
Elizabeth.
That's Elizabeth. Elizabeth, how long have you been here?
I think the whole day. I got here around 4 a.m. in the morning. I came from Accra because I was called yesterday that I'm to take my money back. And my money is 4,000 Ghana cedi, no, 4,100. So I was expecting to get either 4,000 or 3,000. So I queue, and when it got to my turn, they gave me just 600 Ghana cedi. And when I asked why, I said, oh, have you come for the first one? I said, no, this is my first time, actually. They said, okay, you have to log a complaint. Maybe when they are giving for the third time, then you come again. I'm really disappointed because I just got a job, I think, a month ago. So I'm a new person. I'm still on probation. And I have to be giving excuses. I'm going for money, and you go and you get disappointed and you go back. I don't even know whether if I go, they will take me. Because yesterday I closed work around 8 o'clock. And I have to go to VIP and go and take the 9th bus. Even when I told my boss, I'm working in a hospital, they're like, Abba, you just came. Okay, when you go and get that money, come and share with us. I said, okay. Now I have to go and tell them another story. I didn't get the money. So next time, if they are sharing, I have to ask for another permission, which is so disappointing.
Now, have you been assured you'd get the rest of the money?
Well, that's what they told me. I don't know.
So you're coming back when?
They didn't tell me. They said they will give me a call. So I really don't know.
You are obviously not happy.
Can you hear me?
We hope, very sad.
We hope your money will be...
I'm really disappointed. Really disappointed. If I know that...
I can hear you, Emmanuel.
Yes, it's quite an unfortunate situation there in the Bonahafo region.
Yeah.
But tell
Emmanuel,
me,
I can hear you.
has
Can you
it
hear me?
affected the celebration of Christmas region? I mean, how has this particular situation impacted on the celebration?
Christmas, we'll be going to that in a bit, but let me crave your indulgence to speak with an official who is here to explain to us why somebody like Elizabeth has gotten only 600 out of the 4,200 she invested. Please introduce yourself quickly for us.
My name is Daniel Owusu McDaniels. I am the coordinator for Bonahafo region, all payment centers. Yeah.
So far, how has the process been like for you?
Oh, for me, it has been smoothly because everybody comes and whatever we are supposed to do for the person pertaining to the documents we received and then the procedures we are supposed to follow, everything is in order.
You heard Elizabeth's story. She deposited over 4,000. She's received only 600 cedis. What's the problem and what are you going to do for her?
What we do in the first place is that when there are circumstances like that, you need to report, okay? And I will go into why that happened. Because at the end of the day, the list that we brought out, we had those that were into savings and those that were into investment, okay? Sometimes the names that will come will be for savings. That is somebody invested maybe 3,000. At the end of the day, there was an interest. Maybe your money raised to like 3,500. The person went to withdraw the 3,000, leaving 500 in the account of savings. Later on, the person made a top up. And then let's say maybe the person added 2,000, investing another 5,000. That means that there is an amount of 500 remaining in the account of the person as far as the savings is concerned. And that was how DKM was operating. They open a savings account for you, which is different from your investment account. And so the names that was picked from the DKM server, some of them, their investment figures were not recorded. And so at the end of the day, when we brought the list out, you see that we have what we call the investment list, we have what we call the savings list, and we have what we call the susu. Okay, so depending on the money that was inside your particular account, that is what when you come, then you get. If there is any issue, that is maybe you have an actual investment which did not appear, then what we do is that we have a customer service where you report. And then at the end of the day, they will go and then investigate. They will validate the receipt you are providing.
So essentially, that's what Elizabeth should do.
Yes, please. That's what she should do. And I'm sure
if you can hear me,
speaking to us to what to do next.
Okay, great. Yeah, I can hear you, Emmanuel.
All right, so quickly tell us about the euphoria surrounding the upcoming Yuletide, the Christmas and the New Year.
Yeah, those Abuaji who have been able to receive their monies are very excited. They tell stories of, you know, a very bad Christmas last year because they didn't have a clue whether they were going to get their monies or not. You know, some invested to as much as 40,000 Ghana cedis, 50,000 and so on. So it was pretty bad for them. Now that they've been able to receive their monies, there was a lot of joy. There was one elderly person who came all over from the Upper East region. She invested about 7,000 cedis. She's into tilapia business and, you know, some other businesses as well.
All right,
now
thank you very much,
she's going to use the money
for that update.
to, if you like, refurbish the place, inject the money into the business and revamp it. So there's a lot of
thank you very much,
optimism.
Kuku Aban. That was our correspondent.
Look forward
Kuku Aban bringing us up to speed with developments in the Bonahafo region concerning the payment of depositors of DKM funds. Moving on, Jubilee Oil Field Partners have served notice of their intention to start series of shutdowns from February next year. The move, sources say, is part of a broader plan to work on the challenges with the Jubilee FPSO and also connect pipes from the 10 field to the gas infrastructure project at Atwabo. But could this result in serious power crisis from next year? George Rafe tells us more.
The first shutdown on the Jubilee FPSO would happen in February 2017. However, this will last for about 15 days, followed by another one that would happen in the whole of March. Joy Business is learning the first shutdown is basically to help connect pipes from the Chinebwa Inyara Tome oil field through the Jubilee FPSO to the Ghana Gas Infrastructure Project at Atwabo. Joy Business understands the partners are carrying out the shutdown because it is not safe to still work on the Jubilee FPSO whilst it lays these pipes. However, sources close to the power generator say there are measures in place to ensure that it does not result in any serious power crisis in the country. Some of the measures include returning to crude oil to power the generators or turn to neighboring Ivory Coast for some power supply. But if this is a short-term measure, then there should be a long-term plan to deal with other shutdowns that would happen during the period to ensure that it doesn't cripple the entire power sector. But Joy Business understands there are plans to fall on the John Evans Atamils FPSO for natural gas for their turbo plants, while the partners work to fix all the problems with the Jubilee FPSO.
That was a business desk report by George Rafe. Now, moving on, economist Dr. Eric Osei-Sibi says new policies outlined by the president-elect Nana Addo Akufo-Addo are achievable, but he's warning that these programs can be implemented with favorable developments on the international market. Nana Addo Akufo-Addo announced several policy initiatives to support growth of businesses at an encounter with the Private Enterprise Federation.
About 85% of our export revenue come from cocoa, gold, and oil, and the prices, as we all know, keep fluctuating in the world market. And so, for the macroeconomic policies to succeed, it also likely depends on what really happens out there. But a lot could be done internally to really position the economy in such a way that it be more resilient to whatever external shock that will come. If government is able to create that business-friendly environment by reducing taxes as it has promised and making sure that the regulatory environment is friendly, all of that, put together will bring some kind of positive sentiment, confidence in the system, and by that could increase investment and propel growth within the shortest possible. What government has to concentrate on in the first 100 days is achieving some kind of relative stability, ensuring that the macroeconomic indicators are stable and are firmly grounded on a stronger fundamental.